Did you call bank? I called game.
What's good, podcast world? What's good, YouTube? Back for another episode of Charging to the Game Sports Podcast. And as you can see, we got a very special guest in the building, Antwain Peay, sports agent, and all major sports, is joining us. He's going to talk about his experiences as a sports agent. He's a former player, former coach, share some stories, memories, things of that nature. But before we get started, everybody, if you're on the YouTube channel, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. If you're on some of our other platforms, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, make sure you subscribe to that. But let's jump right into it. Antwain, brother, how you feeling, man? Thanks for coming on the show with us.
Hey, I appreciate the invite. I am doing great, man. Just recovering from the 4th, to be honest with you. I took mom out to lunch the other day, and my brother came to visit. So I mean, you got to take time and spend with the family when you can, man. So,
of course, yeah.
Especially with my career title. So I had to make time for the family.
Exactly, man. Like, especially with your career title, man. Like I said, it's really an honor to have you on the show because you're the first. We've had former players, former coaches, current players, current coaches, things like that. Never an agent, though.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. You're the first. You're the one of one, man. And like I said, it's a blessing to have you on our show. This is something different. So there's a lot of people in our group and that listen to our show, period, that might want to become. They have aspirations to become an agent. Or they might be a collegiate athlete and they're looking at agents and they're wanting to know, keys to look out for when searching for an agent. Or they might be looking for an agent themselves. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So, like I said, it's a pleasure to have you on. But before we get started with that stuff, can you tell us a little bit about your sports career, your journey? I know you're an agent now, but what did you grow up playing and what sports and coaching things?
Well, basketball honestly was my bread and butter. I started at 5 years old, just like any other kid. At first, you playing in the backyard with your neighborhood friends and things like that. But then, my parents are retired educators, teachers, coaches, they've been everything in the books except a superintendent. But me and my younger brother, we played in the local YMCA programs just to, get the basics out the way. Then as we grew and got better, eventually my parents, my brother got so good, he caught up to me. They actually put him in my age bracket.
So
me and my brother, it's a 4-year gap between us, but his skill set was able to catch up with me. I had an early growth spurt growing up. So imagine a 5th grader around, 5'9", 5'10", and I'm playing center at the local YMCA. I was pretty much the tallest kid on my team until I got to about middle school and high school. Then I started, playing my actual role, being a guard. But then I dabbled into football. I was a wide receiver at West Forsyth High School. Nice. During that time, I was going to high school with Chris Paul. Me and him got a 3-year age gap. He graduated. Yeah, he graduated before I finished. And the funny thing is, though, I told Chris that I was going to go to school to be a sports agent. and I knew he was going to go to Wake Forest. So I said, "Hey, look, I need you to stay on 4 years. I got to get certified. So I need you to stay on 4 years." I was literally trying to get him to wait, but then I found out later that his brother, his brother wasn't trying to be an agent, but he knew enough to at least get his first contract out the way, and then Chris went and got an actual NBA agent. So, but no, we're still cool though. Me and my brother talk to Chris all the time. But no, excuse me.
So you sure it's not Cliff Paul? You know what I mean?
This is the funny part. All right. So when Chris was still with the Hornets, and when he came back home, he will always have these basketball camps. I can't remember the name of the school, but no, me and my brother would always go to the school where he hosts his camps and everything. And there'll be he was since he's in the NBA at the time, when he first got started, they had a little bit of security and things like that. But me and my brother just walked right in and said like, we're here with Chris.
Yeah, we here with Chris. We here with the big guy.
We walked in and just sat down right next to Chris and his brother and said, "Hey man, what's up?"
That is funny. You got the VIP treatment.
You gotta pull those contacts, bro.
So, but no, it was a good experience though. But the funny part was like I was still in school. Chris was already in the NBA.
Yeah, that's wild, bro.
That was the funny part though. So, but no, by the time I graduated, I went to John C. Smith out here in Charlotte, North Carolina.
Okay.
So by the time I graduated, I'm looking for a job and also trying to figure out what are my steps to become a sports agent. Yeah. So my mom found out I'm trying to be a sports agent and everything. So she tells me to say like, so well, I know Desmond Clark. I was going like, who? I said like, Desmond Clark for the Bears. I said like, oh, that Clark. I'm going like, wait, pause, wait. How do you know him?
Right, tight end for the Chicago Bears, right? Yeah.
So first she tells me she went to high school with him at the time. And then she when he went to Wake Forest, his roommate was Tim Duncan.
Oh my gosh, you're a well-connected young man, bro.
So by the time Desmond Clark retired, my mom knows his wife. So, and the funny part was she actually ran into her out of the blue at the grocery store. My mom was just doing regular grocery shopping and just ran into his wife at the grocery store.
That's wild.
So they caught up and everything, they had coffee, reminisce and everything, and say, hey, my son's trying to be a sports agent. Said like, hey, can you talk to Desmond? And he remembers me from our high school days. Can you have him, talk to his agent and everything? So they said, sure. Like, just, here's my number. And then just give me a call. So after mom did her spiel, she called me out of the blue and said, hey, you trying to still be a sports agent, right? I said, yeah. Why you think I made these phone calls?
Right.
I said, here's Desmond's phone number. Give him a call. He's waiting to hear from you. He's gonna put you in contact with his agent. I'm going like, not lying. I said, no, this is not. I called. He literally picks up and he says, and I said, oh yeah, that's right. It's like my wife told me that you were calling. So he puts me in contact with his agent. And I had to tell his agent, say, hey, this is Antwain. Friends with Desmond. He gave me your phone number. So because he's going like, who out there giving my personal number?
right. It's all over the internet, right?
So yeah, like he don't want it all over the internet. But no, I told him, I said, yeah, Desmond gave me your number. So, oh, okay, all right, you cool. So I told him, I say, look, I just graduated college. I'm a player, but I'm looking towards being an agent and everything. So. No, he didn't want to give me too much, but he gave me enough to get started.
Right, yeah, that's all you need. You gotta show the man how to fish. You can't
it's like say I want to start my own bakery. Like the bakery owner down the street don't want to give me all their secrets.
Right.
So, but yeah, he gave me enough to get started and everything. So, but after talking with him and I'm like drawing out my plan on how I'm gonna make this happen, I get a phone call about a week later. It's from Dr. Lashbrook from SMWW. Wow. He heard from the grapevine that I'm looking to be a sports agent. And the funny thing is, though, he got my contact information off LinkedIn.
And anybody, I'm going to stop you here, but I'm going to let you explain. For anybody that doesn't know Dr. Lashbrook, Google him. He's a very well-connected gentleman, former sports agent. He's still an agent, isn't he?
He's actually still in the business now. On paper, he's retired, but yeah, when I first met him, he has mostly done NFL, going on 35 years when I first came across him.
Wow.
It's a long
35
time.
years of experience, man. That's older than me.
That's older than me.
Yeah.
So, but after having a conversation with him, he told me about Sports Management Worldwide. So I looked up the program and everything. And so they actually teach you the do's and don'ts how to be an agent. Like you get to talk to NFL agents, soccer agents, Major League Baseball agents, NBA agents. So I was like, all right, well, this is right up my alley. So let me go ahead and do this program. So I did the program for about 3 years. And the way the program's operated, they give you options where you can, re-up with the program and, be with them to learn how to, recruit players, how to market players, whether it be NBA, semi-pro, G League, WNBA. The players that you personally recruit and sign, you can take them with you if you decide to leave the agency. If you want to start your own firm, you can do that as well. So even though I was with them for 3 years, I absorbed everything that I could from them. I wasn't personally quite ready to start my own firm. So even though I did take my clients with me that I had at the time, I did take them with me along with my contacts, and I, put, on my social media accounts and say, hey, I'm an agent. Right now I'm independent. I just left SMWW. My contract expired. Any other firms wanting to take on, a new agent with new contacts and new players. I had three firms that were interested. All three of them reached out to me, and I, researched all three of them. And the last one is the one that I'm currently with right now, and I've been with this firm for the last 10 years. Company is called Baseline Sports Inc. We're all over social media, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. Also my personal page is Agent Antwain, so makes it real easy for you. My title at the firm is Chief Operation Officer. CEO.
Hey, you killing them. Hey, don't be modest, man. Don't try to, that's big news, man. That's big. I'm happy for you, man.
Yeah, so I'm CEO of the firm and everything. My business partner, his name's Mr. Jonathan Bentley. He's the CEO, and he's been when I first met him, he invited me to one of his combines that he was doing down in Texas, and he had personnel from the Texas Legend and the San Antonio Spurs.
Nice.
I was still with SMW at the time, but he invited me to, his combine and everything. I saw the type of players that were there. I saw the connections he had. So it was a good experience just to learn, another, black agent doing X, Y, and Z. And then the funny part is when I first met him, he was doing this for over 14 years all by himself. He had all he had was just interns, and he was still in the game.
Killing them.
So
Can't stop.
So here I come. Now, at first he was kind of nervous. He was kind of nervous about, here come another agent. He wasn't sure, am I a scam artist? What am I doing?
Why would he think that though?
So, well, because like I said, this is a cutthroat business. You never know. And I'll get to the scammer part in a few minutes.
Okay.
But no, he wasn't sure what type of agent am I going to be though. So, and he did the same thing that Dr. Lashbrook did. He went and looked me up, and when he looked at my LinkedIn profile, and he contacted me through LinkedIn as well. Yeah. And he wanted to ask me one thing, and this is before I signed with his agency. Yeah. And they said I got one question for you. So you went to SMWW, and you got these type of players in this town. And I was like, why are players not beating down your door for your legal shield services? I was going what do you mean? It's my players need this type of service, especially the ones I send overseas, because the type of players he has, don't get me wrong, he has talented players, but players that have baby mama issues, they got worn out for their arrest. They need legal kind of representation. They need legal representation without spending an arm and a leg. Gotcha. So he was just curious of how come players were not beating down my door, not only just to be represented by me as an agent, but also the legal services that I have. Wow. So that's how me and him met, which was funny. So I was talking with him, we talked about, contract and everything. So, but yeah, he wanted to sign me on as his COO. And here's the funny thing though. He was in the business for 14 years now, 14 years.
Yeah, he's a vet.
I come in year one. I'll do him an international contract.
Wow. Bro, so you didn't even know your own worth. That's the thing. You probably came in, you probably thinking you weren't going to do that type of business, but you came in, came out the door, killing the game.
He outdid me in the G League contracts. He has more G League players than me. But when I first came in, I outdid him my first year at Baseline. I did, and I kept track of everything too, which was ironic. But my first year did 36 contract, all men. And I outdid him on international contracts. So the following year, it went from 35 to 80, and then 25 out of that 80 were female contracts, because the same teams that I closed contracts with on the men's side, They come back to me, you know, after dealing with the men's contract, say, hey, do y'all represent female players? And I wasn't sure, but I said yes. So what are you looking for? I go back to Mr. Bentley. I said, like, hey, do we have a women's division? He said, like, well, yeah, we do, but I was like, give me the keys to the car. I said, what are you doing? He said, like, all these contracts that you see me doing right now, look, the same teams have come back and asked me if we got female players. Give me the keys to the car. Give me the keys to the car. So ever since then, I have taken over the women's division as well over at Baseline. Jesus, and then my third year at Baseline, I did over 100 contracts, both on the men and women's side. And this is before coronavirus hit us.
That's crazy, bro. And that's during COVID. And just to give us an idea, because we know nothing about that. It sounds like a major mark. Is that like a huge accomplishment?
I mean, for me, it was. I mean, because I was learning how to do, you know, contracts on my own. Yeah. Because I'm not a lawyer, but when it comes to these type of contracts, it's the way I negotiate my contracts. It's kind of like, you know, when people apply for a 9-to-5 job. You want to make sure you get your salary, your benefits, you know, insurance and everything. But when it comes to you're going to a whole nother country, they got to give you more than just your salary, your insurance, and your benefits. You got to have a place to sleep, you know, during the season. You got to have food. So, you know, those basic things is what you got to make sure was inside a contract when you're trying to send a player to a whole nother country. And of course, there's also a language barrier. So I don't speak Spanish, but look, Google Translator.
There we go.
Hey, that's your best friend. That's what's up, man.
So Google Translator.
So tell us, man. So like I said, you're a current agent now. So what sports do you represent? Like NFL, NBA?
Well, right now it's just basketball. It's GLeague, FIBA, and I'm still waiting to hear back from New York. I'm getting my WNBA license right now. It's pending.
Nice.
But I'm just waiting to hear back from New York to give me my paperwork.
Okay. So tell us about the overseas circuit, man, the international circuit. Like what countries and what's the difference between, because we're a US based podcast. We don't know a ton about, you know, overseas stuff. Can you explain like the difference between like, you know, US and overseas?
Well, if you're talking we can start with like, all right, for the NBA. Yeah. Even before the pandemic, me and Mr. Bentley, we've had players at the high school level, at the college level, contact us talking about, you know, they want to forego, you know, going to college and everything like that. And me personally, I made a rule for myself, and I'm trying to make my staff follow this rule as well. My rule is when we have these high school kids now, like I understand most of these kids were following the J.R. Hampton and the LaMelo Ball theory, trying to, you know, try to go that route. It doesn't work for everybody. So,
what are the reasons why? Why do you think it works for everybody?
Because most of these international teams, some of them are not realistic, and some of them, all of them don't care about high school and AAU, because we've had kids, you know, say like they want to forego college. Well, I played at, you know, high school, I played AAU. International teams don't care about that. And the best way for me to explain it to this generation of athletes on the basketball side, if international teams cared about what you did in high school, what you did in AAU, Zion Williamson would have been overseas instead of the NBA. But the only reason that none of the international teams, even the highest of the highest overseas, the creme de la creme, the only reason they didn't go after Zion is because they don't have NBA money.
Right.
Don't get me wrong. You can make 6 figures overseas. Don't get me wrong. That is possible depending on what type of player you are. You can make 6 figures overseas, but they don't have NBA money.
Yeah.
So that's why for players that want to go the overseas route and you're not on the top 100 ESPN, like if you weren't making noise in high school or if you weren't making noise at Wade, Duke, Kentucky, if you got an offer, like I hate to say it like that, but that's just what it is. And I wish the NBA would go back to looking at everybody across the board, because this new generation don't know or don't realize that Dennis Rodman and Scottie Pippen went to NIA schools. They didn't go to Duke, Kentucky, but yet they still got drafted.
Right, yeah.
But the NBA is, I mean, I understand it's a business. Don't get me wrong. I know what industry I'm in.
Yeah.
but for these new generation of players whether it be the NBA or the NFL side, that y'all got to go through the proper channels because,
Right.
like I said, if you're not making noise at your current, like it's like being a big fish in a small pond. So
Gotcha.
if you can't blow up that small pond, how are you going to blow up the big pond?
Right.
So
Makes sense.
But with me and Mr. Bentley, the second reason why he brought me on board to be his COO at Baseline is because I'm a former player and I understand what these players are going through. Because
Right.
I went to a Division II school,
Okay.
so CIAA. So we're not gonna get the NBA ESPN recognition like Duke, Wake, and Kentucky are. So we players at Division II, JUCO, which like there's no disrespect to their talent or anything. It's just that we're not making those universities are not making the money that Wake, Duke, and Kentucky are. That's
Exactly.
why they have all the NBA players. But now the way it looks after, especially with the NCAA, passing that the NIL law now.
Right, and I'm gonna ask you about that too.
So now that's about to happen, it's gonna be all hands on deck situation. So it just depends on what type of player are you. Now there's still gonna be a hiccup with the JUCOs and the Division IIs and Division III players.
Right.
There's a possibility they might get some recognition, but like I said, big fish, small pond. So we'll see how that goes. It's only been a week, so we'll see. But there are going to be some provisions that these players are going to have to go through. And I read most of it, and the one thing I do like about it is that the student athletes have to attend, no matter what university they're at. They have to attend a financial literacy course, which I like, and I wish they had that back during my heyday.
They should, yeah.
If it wasn't for me and my brother's parents, learning about how to budget your money, how to write a check, learn about credit, learn about taxes. If it wasn't for them, me and my brother would be SOL. So
yeah.
But yeah, I do like the part where they're telling the student athletes that they have to take a financial literacy course.
That's good.
So that's one thing that's going to help them.
Yeah, I think it's good too because I mean, at the end of the day, these young guys, I mean, they're very talented guys. Some of these guys don't know their worth, and you don't want them to, these guys to get over them. You know what I mean? And especially if you're, a parent of a young athlete, and let's just say you might have played, but your son's better than you. Like he's like a D1 type athlete, but you as a parent, maybe you're a D2 or D3 athlete. Those avenues are a little different.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, man. So tell us a little bit about some things, like you said, I think you touched upon it. What are some things that young athletes now, maybe around like the high school circuit, should be, if they're trying to make it to the next level, whether that be NBA, NFL, overseas, what are some things that they should do to get their body and then just their minds right? Because I'm pretty sure you run into a lot of things. And I think you even touched on it, like, I think you were saying some legal shield thing where like the baby mama drama.
Yeah.
And things I'm pretty sure you got the story.
Yeah,
like,
the baby mama drama. I mean, whether the agent that these up and coming athletes, regardless if they want to go to the NBA, G League, or overseas, they want to have a good representation. As far as I know, I'm the only agent that does Legal Shield, and I've been doing this since my college days because it actually helped me pay my way through school, to be honest with you.
Hey, well, firsthand.
So, you got to think of it this way: 21 years old, you're in college, and it makes sense to go through life without an attorney when it doesn't matter what your skin color is. Like everybody goes through it, like speeding tickets. You're being this is sue SA instead of USA. Everybody's getting sued from anywhere from $5 to $5 million.
Yeah.
So you want to have proper representation, regardless if the agent is not an attorney, which there is no requirement to be. You don't have to be a lawyer, which I learned through my research. You don't have to be an attorney to be an agent in this industry. If you have access to attorneys, that does help your portfolio. So I have access to attorneys, and the best thing about Legal Shield is not only do they help our clients here in the U.S., they just went international 2 years ago. So now my clients that are in the United Kingdom, my clients in Canada can get the same service that our American clients get.
Right.
So it's not limited. It's for everybody pretty much. So, and we have plans for, the regular, family members. We got CDL for truck drivers, teacher. Nice. We got a teacher plan, small business plan for small. Yeah, we got a small business.
Multi-purpose.
Look, this is one thing our country is mismanaging our legal system. They make it think that if you do something bad, you need an attorney. I said, no, you can use an attorney for something good. If you're trying to start a plumber business, you want to make sure you're licensed. You want to make sure you're certified. You want to make sure your I's are dotted and T's are crossed. Exactly. So you can use attorneys for positive things. You don't have to be in trouble. You don't have to be a murderer, or you don't have to speeding tickets or lawsuits and say like, oh, I need an attorney. Said no, it's just how it's not if you need an attorney, it's when.
It's just the way they market it, man. I think there's more money in when you get in trouble than when you're trying to do good. It's like, especially in this society, man, it's like the more evil, the more bad it is, the more money it makes. You know what I mean? It's almost like sex sells. You know what I mean?
Pretty much. So, but the way I've been using my Legal Shield services is, I offer it to pretty much everybody. I don't keep it secluded just for my athletes. It's open to everybody. Like my brother has it because he just had a kid. You can add kids on the plan. We just upgraded to you can have 8 kids on one plan. Our family plan is only just $25 a month, and you're pretty much get $25 a month, and you get a Michael Jordan attorney.
Oh my gosh! Hey, I'm telling you, people, y'all better listen to him. I'm telling you, he's dropping gems. You might not be aware, but you might need it.
So so for just a regular family man, and I do presentations out here in North Carolina and everything. My title for Legal Shield, I'm a senior manager with the company. So
and they can get more information on your website as well.
I can put it in the in the chat box in a minute. My title is senior manager with the company and everything. And I was just doing it part-time in school just so I can, make a little extra money to get through school.
So now it grew into what it is now, man. That's nice.
Mr. Rum, I don't know if you went in depth on my social media or anything as far as Facebook, but on my LinkedIn account, my LinkedIn account is a little bit more depth. And it explains why I decided to do Legal Shield, not only so I can, make a little, extra money to get through school. Right. During my time in college, I was laid off twice.
Wow.
So
Jesus.
And this was back during the 2007-2008 recession. So I was working part-time at a local YMCA, and of course, they let all the part-time people go. They kept all the full-time people. Right. So I was looking for a way to make some money so I can get through school. And then when I came across Legal Shield, I was going like, not only did I need this because, like I said, I wanted to be an agent when I got out of college. Right. And I was going like, wait, everybody needs this. Like, so that's like, imagine, look, I was 21. Look, I'm 21 in college. And how many 21-year-olds saying that they want to be fine? How many 21-year-olds say they want to be financially independent and be a stay-at-home dad at one point?
Not me. I mean, like I said, I was in that same boat, man. Like 21-year-old literally, I played football, man. So I played football at Morgan State University and NAI school. I think you touched upon NAI. I played at Campbellsville University. You know what I mean? All I thought was playing football and getting something to eat. You know what I mean? Like that was literally it. I was not thinking about, my career path down the road and, what that may entail. But like I said, I mean, you thought ahead, you were kind of ahead of the game and, you saw an avenue for yourself and, ultimately it's paying its dividends. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's true.
Yeah.
Oh, we got it.
So
he might have froze or mute.
Yeah, we froze a little bit. Okay, we back.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Hold on, real quick. Yeah,
Okay. No, you good.
So
But
no, I'm still connected.
Oh, okay. Oh, you might have hopped off for a second. But he'll hop back in.
Yeah, I'm about to send him an invite back.
But yeah, I'll send him an invite back. No, hey, but he was dropping gems, man. Like,
nah, for real. That's something very like important, especially for the lawyer thing. The 25, like that's a
Sorry about that.
Yeah. Oh no, you good, brother. You good. Like I said, we were just talking about how much of a great conversation and just like all the things that you point out, because there's a lot of young athletes and even parents and even coaches. There's so many people that listen to our show that, you know, this sort of kind of enlightens them. You know what I mean? Like they're unaware of all of these things. I'm telling you, like as young as you are, there's old heads that don't even think of this way. You know what I mean? You know, they still struggling to make ends meet and things like you educated them, bro. I'm pretty sure you already know.
Hey, look. If I step, put me on the court with a bunch of high school kids or college kids, they still gonna call me old head. But look, if I cross them up in the parents thing, they said like,
hey.
All right, you can't call him old head no more if he's actually beating you.
Right. So tell me, so you're a baller, man. So what, like you said, what position you obviously you said you had that growth spurt. So you were like a guard. Once you got to like the high school level, were you nice or like how would you judge your gameplay?
Well, in high school, I was still playing football. I went back to basketball during my college. Yeah, I was a wide receiver back during my days because my parents were trying to convince me to do another sport because all I did was just basketball growing up. So they suggested that I do football. So I said, well, you like the Atlanta Falcons, so play football. So I said, and the funny thing is though, like they were right because I knew all the rules. I just never played football. Like most of my friends, like did Pop Warner and everything, just like I just did basketball since I was 5. So I went to, I went to the principal of West Forsyth at the time. He was actually friends of my parents. And I asked him personally to change my schedule. I said, hey, can you take me out of PE and put me in weight training class? And he said, what for? I said, like, I'm about to go out for the football team. I need to bulk up.
Yep, get in the
gym. So back during my football days, so I was a skinny like buck 150, so I had a lot to learn. So but I was a quick learner though. So I went out. I did the whole the 2-week tryout and everything, and I made the varsity after 2 weeks of tryouts. Oh, nice. So it was a good experience, and I was actually with one of my friends. His nickname was Woo Woo, and he was our top. He was our top quarterback at the time. So me and him got along and everything. So no, my football it was pretty cool and everything, and I actually thought of continue playing football. So, but I only did 2 years. I just did my junior year and my senior year. So, but after that, I went back to basketball. Went to John C. Smith out here in Charlotte. I hit my max by the time I hit 18. So 6'1" is my max. So, but no, basketball was good and everything. At the time, was it John C. Smith? We got 2 CIAA rings at the time. 2007 and 2008 season. So that was a good experience. And then after I graduated college, like I said, trying to learn how to be an agent and everything. And I found out about the overseas market and everything. Right. The part where I said the international team, some of them, not all of them, some of them are unrealistic. So my experience on the agent side, where I've had teams saying like, hey, Mr. PA, we got a job opening. We need, a guard and a big. Our budget is $4,000 a month. I said, okay. So I give you my best G League players at the time. So for the guard and at the big position. So they come back and say like, well, we're looking for someone a little bit stronger. What you mean you're looking for somebody stronger? I gave you 2 former G League players. The G League is paying $7,000 a month. Your budget is $4,000. I can get my guys to pick this.
Yeah, that's wild. That's wild to me. Yeah. Yeah,
that's what I don't understand. So they tell me what their budget is. I give you 2 players that oversee $4,000 per month. Right. The G League is paying $7,000, but you won't take them.
What is the reason for that? Like,
I like I said, it just depends what team you're dealing with.
makes sense, yeah.
So I understand I understand Euro basket is different from American basketball. That I understand. But when you want, the best American players that you can get for your budget, I'm giving you what you want. If I look, my players are taking a $3,000 cut.
Exactly. If
I can get them to take it, then why not finalize the deal and let's go?
Right.
Because if you want somebody higher, you're not going to get anybody higher because you're going to have to fork out more money. And unless you can get your president or owner at the time to raise the budget, if you have the money, and again, this is before coronavirus, if you have the money, then you might as well go ahead and make the deal now. And 9 times out of 10, when some of these teams won't, budge or whatever, regardless if they have the money or not, 9 times out of 10, I'll see an announcement on social media say like, such team sign a European player or a local player for less money. I'm like, then what was the point of you reaching out to my agency then? I gave you what you asked for. The only problem is that you won't budge because either you're going to pay me $7,000 for my players or take who I'm giving you for the $4,000. Because I told you I can get my players to take this deal. Exactly. Even though they're taking a $3,000 pay cut, they'll take this job because, one, they're in the middle of off season. They're not playing in the G League. So that's the only reason why I can get them to take this money.
That is crazy, man.
Do teams have limits on amount of American players they can have on their team still in the different
it depends on what country you're talking to. Some European teams, the max would be anywhere from 2 to 4. Some teams in Mexico can take 5 players. Canada is unlimited. They can take whoever. So So it just depends what country you're talking to. But ever since the whole coronavirus thing hit us and everything, so like I said, FIBA shut down for about 6 months. So about 50% of our players have been playing in the TBL league out here in the US. It's a semi-pro team that me and my business partner are currently dealing with. In the past, we didn't like dealing with some of the semi-pro teams because some of them other than the ABA, because a lot of the players do know the ABA is what started the NBA. Yeah. For those that know the history. But a lot of these semi-pro teams are either not paying the players or they're just, are pretty much the scam part where I told you earlier. Where they're just, they want to be, they're trying to compete with the NBA and it's like, there's no way. The NBA has been around too long, and the G League is still trying to catch up to match the NBA, to have a G League for every NBA team. So it's not gonna happen. But in the past, before coronavirus, the TBL had a bad rep about not paying the players on time. And we've had players reached out to my agency in the past time. I said like, hey, can y'all, get me overseas or can you put me in a better situation? Like we've had stories about players like just not getting paid and they just want to up and leave the league or leave the team. You had some teams leave certain, like you have some ABA teams will go to this league. Some teams from the TBL go over here. Like teams were just bounced from league to league. Nobody was staying. So it was either they're trying to rebrand or they got caught. Like they say when they market, they say, hey, come play for us. Max contract is $1,500 a month. So now if they have the sponsors and a budget, hey, more power to you. Like, hey, let's do business. If you actually can play, look, I got a local kid that that can play on your team. And we come across players all the time say like, yeah, I would like to go overseas, but like I'm getting paid $2,000 just to play on my local team right here. So like there's no point in me. Like, there's no point. Like, if I can play professional basketball here, I can still take care of my family. I can still play my dream within a reason, Exactly. Like, the Jacksonville Giants. Like, the owner for the Jacksonville Giants, me and Mr. Bentley deal with them a lot because the owner never played basketball during his heyday, but he was a big basketball fan. He's a big time lawyer down there in Jacksonville. So he just wanted to own his own team. So he pays his players anywhere from $1,500, $2,500 a month, and he's had G League players on his roster, ex-NBA players, and it's just a revolving door with him. Like some of his guys will get a deal and go overseas and come right back.
Right.
So yeah. So like, when you have an owner like him, he has a good representation. He's a real good lawyer. The community loves him. The community loves the Jacksonville Giants. So there's no backlash with him. So a lot of people do want to work with, those type of agents, those type of individuals as far as an owner, on a semi-pro level. But due to coronavirus, we had to put some of our guys in that league. But now that the flight ban, have lifted, I can finally send my guys back overseas and my women. So ever since the flight bans got lifted, we're being swamped right now.
I can imagine. I can imagine, bro.
So, but here's the problem, though. So, like you said at the beginning, I'm the first black agent that you had on here. So here's one of the main reasons I told you I was going to bring up earlier. All right, so me and my business partner, we've talked to this about to our players, and this is what they don't understand. So, due to coronavirus, every single player, unless you're in the NBA, every single player has a 1-year gap in your resume. Before coronavirus, you could have a 6-month gap in your resume as an overseas player, and you would still struggle trying to get overseas, regardless if you have an agent or not. 6 months, and this is before coronavirus. Because in some international teams, unless you had a serious injury or whatever, like an ACL, something like they want like a consistent player. Like, are you like, well, what has he been doing the last 6 months or since his last job? Is he still in shape? So so before coronavirus, a 6-month gap would hurt an overseas player. But due to coronavirus, everybody has a 1-year gap, and if you take out coronavirus, you got a 2-year gap. So what me and my business partner have been doing, and I guarantee you, if me and my business partner write a book about this, it's gonna break the industry.
You should. I'm telling you, you should. Don't spill all the tea, but just some. But this is what our players don't understand. So if me and my business partner, if we were white and we say, hey, we work for such and such club, hey, we're going to be in Vegas during the NBA Summer League. We have job openings. Can you meet me in Vegas? Yeah. And so, sure. Like, what's your number? What's your website? They'll sign up. No questions asked. Right. If
you go to the Eurobasket camp down in Vegas, they'll spend about $500 to go down there, and maybe you got a 50% chance of getting signed. But 9 times out of 10, the Eurobasket camp is a bunch of agents. So the agents might have contacts. I'm not disrespecting the business. They might have some contacts, but what's the point of going down there to showcase in front of the agent unless the agent can get you a job on the spot? You would have a better chance. You would have a better chance of performing in front of the GM, owner, or coach that says, "Hey, I need a guard. Who's the best guard at this camp that I can sign right now and go back to my country?"
Right.
So what we have decided to do at my agency, and we do this both on the men and women's side, we bring the coaches to the players, perform in front of them, they'll sign you on the spot.
Nice.
But the problem, but the problem, since we're a black agency, our players are slow. They won't register enough time. This is where the scam part comes in. They think we're trying to scam players. Hold on, let me finish. They think we're trying to scam them because now, granted, there have been other black agents in this industry that have scammed players in the past. That's why the term agent, unless you know what you're doing, a lot of players don't trust agents overall because they don't know who to trust in the industry. But me and Mr. Bentley, we have receipts. We have clients that can tell you that, look, our players that did what they're supposed to do, look where they at now. So I'll give you a real life example. I got to go to Vegas this coming up August.
Yeah.
I have Coach Ranji from Israel and his owner coming to our workout.
Okay.
They're looking for a guard, forward, and a big. Mm-hmm. Their minimum salary is $8,000 a month. Max salary is $165,000 for the season.
Nice. That's good money.
Our players are still haven't registered.
Like, it's just crazy to me. Like, how do you drive this home to him? Like, what do you do? Like, do you just keep calling them? Do you sign them up yourself? Like, what do you do?
Well, I mean, I don't sign them up myself. No, the purpose of this is to get the players We actually put the players on the phone with the owner and Coach Ranji himself. The Coach Ranji in text messages, group chats, and conference calls. We have them themselves have flat out told the players, due to coronavirus, we're not taking your resume because everybody has a 1 to 2 year gap. We don't know what y'all have been doing since everything has shut down. Right. So we need players and Coach Ranji, he's one of the top coaches on the international level. Now he has dual citizenship. He's Israel and USA. But the club that he works for as the coach, his club has won 8 out of the last 9 championships for Israel.
Jesus.
And he's done that with a mixture of European and American players. He doesn't want to go into his next season with just European players.
Right, yeah.
Is that the Maccabi team, or which team is that?
I don't know how to pronounce it. I'll put in the chat when I get a chance. But
I got you.
But no, his club has won the last 8 out of 9 championships, and this is before coronavirus. So both him and his owner, and this is how serious it is. His owner booked his own flight.
Damn. Oh my gosh.
And we have players that are still waiting to register. This is what the players don't understand on the back end. This is another reason why Mr. Bentley loves having me as his COO, because I'm a player. I know I have gone through what these players are going through right now. If you would have told me back during my playing days and say, hey, Antwain, I need you in Vegas. Why? I got Coach Raji coming. He said he's looking for a guard for that big. Salaries anywhere from $8,000 a month to $165,000 for the season. It's a 10-month contract before playoffs. Can you be in Vegas? Oh, by the way, I'm giving you a 6-month notice. Where do I sign up?
Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? Like literally, where do you sign up? But these guys just farting around, man.
This is the problem. I can understand it, like our rookie players, like fresh out of college, like they don't kind of understand the ropes. So no. I understand we got to walk them through, like players that have never been overseas. Yeah, those are not our issues. Our issues are our veteran players that have been overseas. Man, they're taking their sweet time.
But why though? I mean, is there a reason?
That's the problem. We don't know. And me and my business partner have had this conversation before. If me and Mr. Bentley were white and said the exact same thing that I just told you,
they would listen.
They would have listened. Sign up on the spot, no questions asked. But since we're a black agency, we're on your team. And I'm trying to get you overseas because that's what you hired me for.
Right.
But you're not moving quick enough. I'm being held up by the client.
That's crazy, man. It's just
now don't get me wrong. It's not don't get me wrong. It's not every player.
But it still should be no excuse why you're doing.
Yeah, it still should be no excuse. I'm giving you a 6-month notice. 6-month notice.
Yeah.
These are the contracts. This is the type of money that you want.
Right.
But you haven't registered, and I know a lot of players are going to look at this going like, well, he's just trying to collect money. No, I got to pay for the gym. I got to pay for the insurance. I got to pay for the Coach Ranji. We had to pay for his flight to come down. He's flying from Israel to come here.
Right, you're paying for his flight.
Yeah, I'm paying for everything. So no, this money doesn't go to my pocket. The only thing that's going to my pocket is my agent fee.
Exactly. Man, it just goes, it shows you the other side, you know what I mean? Like some of these guys, you know, they take things for granted, but like you said, if they were white, they would have done it, you know, like right that. But since you're black, you think they're starting like they second guess, like they heard some like the Michael Vick, Clinton Porter's type documentaries about,
and
you know what I mean?
And they're trying to put us in the same boat. That's not us. So, but if you want me to do my job, and like I said, this is no disrespect to any of our players' talent or anything. If your resume is not screaming NBA or G League, and you're trying to go overseas, these are your options. Like that's the only way I can explain it to you. But now, here's the twist, though. Here's the twist. All right, so we just got while I'm waiting to hear back from New York on my WNBA license, we just secured private workouts for with 3 WNBA teams. And they're coming to see our current female players, whether it be they played overseas or if they're rookies fresh out of college, to see who's ready for the WNBA lifestyle. So we told our female players about that. Signed up, no problem.
See, women different though. Women don't play. Women be on that. You probably be sick of them. They're gonna keep calling you, hey, Antwain this, Antwain that. Like men, they be like, all right, what I do, bro?
Our women signed up with no hesitation whatsoever.
I'm telling you, man. Come on, dudes. We got to do better, man. Treat my man right. Hey, Antwain, I got another question for you, man, and we'll start wrapping up. So, as far as being a young agent, man, like if somebody's looking to get their start in the industry, what is the best advice you would give them?
The best advice I can give for players is, for one, keep your social media clean, because these teams are looking.
Really?
These teams are looking. Keep your social media clean, because these. To
what point? Like high school? Like if you're in high school, college, or just like what?
No,
what
overall,
point?
it doesn't matter if you're trying to go overseas, if you're trying to go GLeague, NBA. Keep your social media clean, because these international. Look, I understand. Like, I know a lot of NBA teams. They've had players in the past, violated drug tests or got caught marijuana and things like that. Yeah. I said, like, here's my thing. If I'm in the NBA, I'm making millions of dollars. What you smoking weed for? Why?
Right. Yeah.
Like that's what I don't understand. So now the NBA might, depend on who the player is, you might get your second, third, fourth, fifth chance with it before they officially kick you out or no team don't want to sign you no more. But these international teams, they don't play. they gonna send you home in a heartbeat. They do not play.
Wow.
So one, don't be smoking weed, don't be doing no drugs. Keep your social media clean. So and for the high school kids, if you do want to go overseas, I understand a lot of these high end, like the 4- and 5-star players are not going to Wake, Duke, and Kentucky. Now they want to go to the HBC schools, the NIAs, which is great. Like those, so those universities can, get some type of recognition, get a few 4 and 5 stars here at different sports. But if you're just trying to go overseas overall, I recommend you go all 4 years in college, because the international market, like I said, unless you unless you're a Zion Williams, but just on the overseas market, then you might want to go. You might want to go college. So, and also, I try to tell these kids, like, go to college to get the experience, because I can't do my job if your stats are low.
Yeah.
no matter if you go to Wake, Duke, Kentucky, or NIA school, if you got low, depending on your position, if you have low numbers, and say, hey, Antwain, I saw that you posted a job on your social media for that Israel job. Hey, can you put me up for it? You realize that's like, over $100,000. Your numbers are not there. Again, no disrespect, but I gotta give. I've negotiated contracts anywhere from $2,000 a month to over $400,000 for a season.
Jesus, that's good money, man. So you got to put in the work, man. It just goes to show you got to be,
So, but the only thing with these teams, though, like I said, I just wish they were more realistic. Don't give me a $4,000 budget, and then I give you a player that's made more than that. Either up your budget or take a player that's gonna take that $4K.
Shoot, man. My last question was, I had another question for you. So as far as I know, you've pretty much been, obviously seeing the things with these college athletes getting paid. How do you feel about that? And does that overall change your business? Do you have to readjust at all in any way, shape, or form?
Yeah, we are gonna have to adjust, because
I kind of figured.
Before all this even happened, or everybody was having issues about the NCAA, I remember seeing on ESPN, like, the presidents was talking about that. Well, if we pay the players, then there'll be an employee. I said, okay, well then, I was just, this is just me and my brother talking. I was talking about, like, look, if I could get on ESPN or something, and say, like, well then do this then, because like I said, I used to be a high school coach, JV girls, varsity boys, so. Even though I wasn't a teacher of that school, they hired me as a coach because I had the experience, but they only paid me a stipend. I wasn't an employee of the school. I just got a stipend for the season. So give the players a stipend. This was just my idea. I don't know if it will work, but just to combat his employee, if we pay the players, their employees, we'll give them a stipend, because a stipend is, you're not an employee. You're just there for a certain time period. And you can even include that in a player's scholarship, because I asked my brother, I said, like, well, didn't they give you a certain amount of money in your scholarship at Winston State, and then you had to re-up every year? So you can do it that way. And I was thinking of it being a teaching tool for the student athletes. So like if you give them a certain amount with their scholarship, like they could use it, like if they live off campus, they could use it to pay their rent. They could use it to pay their pay their car note if they had a car, or use it for phone bills or to get food. Because I remember seeing one football player. I don't know if he was at Clemson or Ohio State, but I remember saying like they paid for everything else, man, but like I don't even have enough money to go get food. I was going like, what?
Right, yeah. You at Ohio State or one of them big schools, you ain't got no money.
So they pay for his tuition, they pay for all the other stuff, but like he had no like money, so he could get food. So like I remember, I think he said, if I'm not mistaken, I think he said he had different relatives would send him somewhere around like maybe $50 to $100 a month just so he can just to get groceries or just to get some food, at least until he got through college. But I mean, I'm sure he's in the NFL now. Right. But I'm just saying during his college days, like you at a powerhouse school and you ain't got no money to get no food. What? Yeah,
I mean, now it's opening up avenues for these guys. Now they can make money while they're in college. Like there's guys now that I think the college game. There's been players that they were great in college, but they go to the NFL or the NBA or whatever, and they kind of flame out. They weren't that great. But now it gives like a guy like a Johnny Manziel. He was a great college player, right? He was a Hall of Fame college player, but he's not quite NFL.
Material.
He's not an NFL. Yeah, he's not NFL material.
Tebow. Tim Tebow.
Yeah, Tim Tebow, Reggie Bush. You know what I mean?
Wait a minute. No. Look, I'm still all right, first off, I'm not a 49ers fan, but look, when's Cap coming back?
Bring Cap. Hey, let me ask you this. Should Cap have a shot, man? They did him wrong, man. He needs, like they blackballed him.
Look, minus the whole waiver fee unless he gets injured, because that's on him if he gets injured. But that's a personal choice. Like, come on now. Like, how in the heck does Tim Tebow get a job before Cap? Are you serious? See, look, the thing is, Cap was
we know why it is.
He was working. He was working out his entire time. He's been ousted. He's been working out the whole entire time. Tim Tebow's been on TV for the last 8 years.
And he's old as hell, and he can't throw. But he made the change from quarterback to tight end.
Matter of fact, since you brought it up, I said this when Tim Tebow got drafted, because he was first offered a contract to be a tight end. So that's why couldn't he be a tight end back when he first got drafted?
Thank you. Thank you. You know what I mean?
Because they were gonna pay him the same money even if he got drafted as a quarterback.
Right. They were trying to tell him to convert. Hey,
he didn't want to listen. You heard him. He said, "I want to be a quarterback." He said it.
Look, during my football time, I was a wide. Now my main position was wide receiver, but I did play. I played a little bit of quarterback, and I played kick return.
Come on, man. I don't care what you put me. I take it. I feel you.
Look, I'm taking it. Yeah, put me on the field. I'm taking it.
I'm grabbing it. I feel you. But he was big on sticking on his guns. And look how that turned out.
No, look, I respect him for sticking to his guns though. But like when it came down to the very last minute, where it's like, look, we're gonna pay you the same amount, but we really need a tight end. You have a tight end body. So the only thing you need to learn is learn your routes and learn to catch. That was it. You're still gonna get the same money as if you draft that as quarterback. So this is why I'm upset. How come Cap can't come back? But now all of a sudden, 8 years later, Tim Tebow is gonna come into the NFL and he's gonna play tight end.
They don't like what Cap represents, man. You know how you saw how they tried to flip it to him, he's un-American, and you know how the NFL came out against him.
Here's the problem.
Like Tim Tebow's like the American hero or some shit.
I know, but and the narrative is like, if you want to speak your mind, talking about, just say what you're really saying. He said why he took a knee. He didn't say he took a knee to disrespect the veterans. He didn't say I'm going to take a knee to disrespect the flag. Yeah. I know they turn it into that, but they're contradicting themselves. They say, people like Kaepernick need to come out and say what they mean. Okay, it's all over ESPN. Exactly. I took a knee because because we're being bullied by police officers for not doing anything. Like,
Right.
and even during
Literally.
my time when I was in high school, college, and this is before I even came across Legal Shield, I've been racially profiled. I used to. I was driving what was it? I was driving a 2002 Ford Range pickup truck back during my college days.
Okay.
And for whatever, I got pulled over, and I was on my way to Winston State. I was visiting my brother because I was on break or whatever, and I got pulled over on my way to Winston State because somebody called the Winston-Salem Police Department talking about all they said was just a white pickup truck, no other description, and that it was stolen. So since I'm driving a white pickup truck going to Winston State, I get pulled over, and I'm asking, why am I getting pulled over? Right. So and I get no explaining whatsoever. So I didn't get a ticket or anything. I still let the officer search my car and everything, but nothing happened. He let me go, and I'm going like, okay, what was this for? So, and of course, by the time I went by the house, I told, my folks and everything what happened, because I didn't get home till midnight, and they were asking like, well, what happened? Yeah. I got pulled over on the way to see, Will at Winston State. So, but that's another reason why I got started with Legal Shield. So,
right, man. All right. It just goes to show you, man. Like I said, I mean, hey, Antwain, I appreciate you coming on the show, brother. Thanks for sharing your knowledge, your expertise in the industry, man. You're welcome on anytime, brother. Anything else? Anybody want to shout out before we close out, bro?
Oh, I do have like one quick question.
Oh, go ahead.
So as far as like you becoming an agent, you say you went through 3 years paid. Is there that was through a program, correct?
Well, Sportsmen's Worldwide is an agency and a program. They do actually teach, like you can go, just Google SMWW, and when you look at the website and everything, they have classes that you can take. Each class is only 3 months, so you can be an agent for baseball, basketball, football, soccer. You can take a course to be a general manager, basketball or baseball or football analyst. So any of those type of fields that you're interested in, you can take it through them and add it to your resume, as pretty much as a certificate, like, hey, I've been through this and everything. Right. So it's helped me become a better agent, and I've just gotten better year after year. So the only new change I had to get used to is how to navigate through coronavirus. Right. But now my next challenge is how to deal with the NIL thing, because like I said, the students are going to have to take a financial course to understand what they're about to get into. Because I remember seeing on my Instagram the other day that Master P and his and one of his sons, I saw that. So he signed a $2 million deal for a tech company. So, and they ask him, well, what are you about to do and everything? So he says, well, I mean, I've been looking at my, dad over the years, he's going to, invest properly. He's going to give back to the community. And the best thing is his son's going to a HBC school instead of going to, a high end, Wade, Duke, Kentucky type school. Right. Yeah. So with more players like Master P's kid, we should see a shift in everything. And before you asked me, to come on and everything, I was actually going to talk to my business partner and say, like, hey, we need to get all these, financial advisors that have been wanting to join our agency. We're going to need them now because the NCAA, when it came to the basketball, when it came to high school and college, they wouldn't even allow us agents to go to showcases at the time, but they changed the rules where we were allowed. Go? Yeah, I can go to show now. I can't go there and say like, hey, look me up in 4 years. I can't do all that because I don't want to, lose my license. But back in the day, we weren't even allowed to go even look to see what the next talent was going to be. We'd have to wait for them to get to college. But now we can go to high school showcases. We can go to college showcases. We can't just pull a wool over these kids' eyes and things like that. And of course, I'm not going to do that because, like I said, I understand what they're going through. Yeah. From the player's perspective. So,
Gotcha.
but we're gonna have to, get a lot of financial advisors because these students can now, they can't hire an agent just yet, but they can hire a financial advisor for those that get endorsement deals and things like that.
Right.
So
Okay.
that's gonna probably be my next move, is what we're gonna have to do, is how to approach these players now with how everything's being approached with the the new rules of the NCAA.
It's big, man. This is big news, man. Yeah, thanks for sharing that, man. Before I let you go, I know you're probably gonna pick the Suns, but how do you see the finals going? Because you got CP3 first. So tell me how it goes, brother.
Well, since my Hawks and my boy Trae Young got
you a
knocked
Hawks
out.
fan? You a Hawks fan?
Yes.
Man,
I'm a
oh my
Hawks
God,
fan.
nah, I don't like the Hawks, man. Get off my goddamn show,
Bro. No,
look, my damn money, man. Goddamn Atlanta Hawks.
Bro. I told you I'm originally from Atlanta, so I'm sticking with my. I've been with the Falcons since Michael Vick.
You a Falcons fan? I'm a Buccaneers man. Come on, I'm a Buccaneers. Oh my God, hey, you're a good dude. You're a good brother, there. You know what I mean?
Look, you and my brother would actually get along. Now he's not a Bucs fan, but he is a Tom Brady fan. So you and my brother would get along.
Tom Brady, baby.
Oh yeah, here we go. Let's not start it.
Hey, like I said, we're gonna get out of here, man. Hey, you definitely coming back on for another episode, man.
Oh, sure, no problem. We can do that.
Yeah, brother. Hey, any shout outs you want to give before we get off, bro?
Let me get a shout out to my brother. His name's William Peay. He went to Winston State University. He's CIAA just like me. I'm getting ready to send him to Italy, so he's actually gonna be out there in Vegas with me and Coach Ranji and the rest of my clients that have registered to get these contracts now that these flight bans have officially ended. And then after Vegas, I got to go to Dallas in October to get ready for these WNBA workouts for my female players. So shout out to all my female players. Shout out to my business partner, Jonathan Bentley at Baseline Sports Inc. I gave y'all the website for Legal Shield and for the Baseline in the chat. If you check that out.
Yep.
You, your family, anybody that needs legal assistance, send them my way. I'll be glad to help them out. Because like I said, just for the family plan, $25 a month, and you get a Michael Jordan attorney.
Michael Jordan attorney. I like that.
Hey, look, Legal Shield has been around going on 48 years, and they just went international 2 years ago. So
amazing. That's crazy. And the thing is, a lot of people are not, educated enough to know these things. You know what I mean? Like I said, there's a bunch of older people that are still doing things the old-fashioned way. You know what I mean?
Look, I'm trying to educate people the best I can. And like I said back, my 21-year-old said, I'm not married, I don't have any kids, but look, as soon as I find Mrs. Right, like I said, I'm trying to be a stay-at-home dad. That's what I'm trying to do.
Stay at home.
I ain't trying to commute no more. I ain't trying to do XYZ. I'm trying to be a stay-at-home dad. And then my brother's first kid is a girl, and me and him already.
Nice.
If y'all remember Bad Boys.
Yeah.
Look, when my niece becomes 12 or 13, we already agree with
okay.
I put my hand over my
What's your name, Reggie?
So that's what I'm hoping my first kid. If it's a boy, look, I'm good. I'm done. I done my part. If I have a girl, we're doing the same thing.
Oh yeah, vice versa, baby, vice versa. You got to.
Hey, you got to protect her, man. Daddy's little girl or daddy's little man, whatever it is. But hey, shout out to like I said, Antwain and all those people, man. Thanks for coming on. Like I said, man. More guests to come. Great show, fellas. We'll see you next show. Peace.
All right, appreciate you for having me, fellas. I'll be glad to come.
Thank you.